Hey everybody, it's Adler and welcome back to Sunrider Liberation to the Return chapter. Right, the last we left off, we actually left off on a very sour note because we managed to kill Sola, Saga, and Jugara. Yeah, that was wonderful. I did go back and check afterwards, just to see if it was worth recording it and adding and splicing it in. The other option where I went back and helped Sola, it didn't change anything in the end, really. It would just added a bit where he picked up Solo, so would have made me feel a slightly better person, but in the scheme of things, it wouldn't have done much. Anyway, this time I'm gonna go with Ava's route, so I will see you on that side. Okay, here we go. Naturally, the ship's XO would be the best person to turn to for the help in the situation. Yeah, you'd think. Okay, we're going to Ava. Are you sure about this, Captain? Knowing that stick in the mud woman... Look, she's better than you, shut up. Knowing that stick in the mud woman, she'd probably be the first person to report you to security and lock you up in the brig. No. Out of everyone on board this ship, there's no one else I trust more. Besides, she's been trying to trying to convince me the past month that Chigara's a spy. And now I'm going to go to her and tell her that she's been right all this time. We need Ava's help more than anyone else. She's the highest ranked officer on board this ship, aside from me. Not to mention, she's good at getting things done, and she's probably the smartest person on the ship, too. Well, consider your god status. You may actually be more intelligent, technically. Well, if you say so, Captain, but just be on the safe side, I think you should meet her without me. That'll probably be for the best. Yeah, after all, seeing you would probably put her in a bad mood. With that, Shield set off for the usual place to find Ava. T-minus 63 hours. God, how risky this is to go up to the bridge of all fucking places. Sure enough, well, I think this is actually right after they got out of the bedroom, so Shields would still probably be in there all tangled up and snuggly with Chigara. Sure enough, he found Ava working at the bridge. He tried to walk into the bridge as casually as possible and approached her. Hey, psst, Ava. Ava turned in irritation at Shield's unusual way of greeting her. Is there a problem, Captain? Yeah, come over here. Shields ushered Ava into a secluded corner of the bridge. Captain, what appears to be the problem? Well, honestly, he had no idea where to even begin. Hello, Ava, my glorious childhood friend turned executive Ossifer. I have just traveled back in time to prevent a future massacre from happening. Oh, by the way, don't trust anything the other guy who looks identical to me says because he's heading all of you guys off to a great big disaster. Yeah, right, like I could ever just say that. Captain, you appear to be in a great amount of thought. I was in fact planning to visit you in your office on time after finishing my shift to ensure that you were giving the battle plans due diligence. He's giving something due diligence. Ah, yes, I still remember that little incident. This is going to be difficult to believe, but I swear upon the day that day in Advanced Academy when we tried to scrub the entire pool clean between just the two of us, that I am the Kato Shields you grew up with from childhood. Understood? I see. Shields took off his shoulders and whispered into her ear. First Officer Crescentia, what I'm about to tell you is a highly classified matter which directly affects the security of the entire galaxy. And as much as I would like to say this is a joke, I am being completely honest. I have traveled in time from the future to warn you of an event which will occur shortly after our successful liberation of Sarah. During the victory ceremony, Chief Engineer Ashada will fall under the control of the prototypes and orchestrate the assassination of every major Alliance military leader at the ceremony, including Admiral Harold Gray. This event will spark an intergalactic war between the Solar Alliance and Pact, which will threaten the existence of humanity as we know it. There is currently another Kato Shield frolicking with the Chief Engineer right now in my office. This is the Kato Shields that you know as your captain in this timeline. You must do everything in... Oh god, that's intimidating. You must do everything in your power to prevent the Liberation Day. Skip it, hey! The Liberation Day massacre, starting with the detention of Chief Engineer Ashada. Ava swallowed every word without a hint of surprise in her eyes. Yet Shields knew that every word of what he had just said sounded like a big prank. Finally, Ava nodded. Very well, Captain. I roughly understand the situation. But do you believe it? Because you may understand the situation from your point of view, but from your point of view, I may be an actual imposter. Shield sighed in relief. I'm very glad that you believe me, honestly. If our positions have been reversed, Indeed, your final order to detain the ship's chief engineer appears quite difficult to carry out, as my current superior officer has flatly denied my request that she be detained. That would be you. If I go to him now and repeat the same demand, I doubt the outcome would be any different. And of course, if I unilaterally detain her, I imagine the fallout will be quite grave. As circumstances currently are, he may strip me of my rank for insubordination. Ava certainly did have a point. As long as the highest ranked officer on board the ship protected Chigara, there wasn't anything the Exa could do about it. Shields pulled his hair in frustration at his own past self-stubbornness. For a moment, he was overcome with the desire to march up to his office and smack some sense into herself. It'd be funny. At the right time, though. First, I will head to Deck 0 and confirm whether there is truly another Kato Shields in your office right now. You will escort me there and stand outside in the hallway while I speak to him inside. This is gonna be fun. Once I have verified that there are indeed 2 copies of you in this universe, I will make what preparations I can to stop the prototype's plot. Alright, sounds like a plan. For once, Shield's heart swelled at having such an effective executive officer. He should have appreciated the work she did for him. She basically runs your ship. Basically. No, she does run your ship in all but name. I mean, you give the final commands, she does everything important. Upon looking back at how he had treated her, his heart ached with regret. It fucking should, ya piece of shit. She had been right all this time about Chigara, but he opposed her at every turn. You were thinking with your dick. He had even dredged up his past relationship with her as an excuse to defend Chigara. That was an especially shitty thing to do. He had to apologize. Only with the benefit of hindsight did he know how wrong he was. Didn't just need hindsight. As your friendly neighborhood narrator, I fucking knew that at the time. The two of them entered the lift and headed to Deck 0. Shield stood outside his office while Ava spoke with the other Shields inside. Oh, I wanted a bigger moment for it. After a brief moment, she emerged, her face grave. A part of me suspected that this was merely an elaborate prank, but I see that you are the real deal, Kato Shields. I imagine you will not tell me just how you managed to travel back in time. Well, you're not going to like it. Also, what position did he have Chigara in just now? Was he kind of behind her, or he had kind of hiked her hips up a little and pushed her head down? You know, never mind. I'm afraid not. You wouldn't want to know anyways. Very well. Perhaps I am better off in the dark in regards to such dangerous matters. Well, it might be useful for her to know specifically who, so that she has some idea of who else is on this, as opposed to that being a surprise later on when it gets important and could be risky to just throw it on her. But I believe you're telling the truth. There can be no other explanation as to why you would suddenly change your position on the chief engineer, aside from the fact that you are indeed from the future. Or a prototype, but I'm glad you're listening to reason here. And do not believe you were some double body. And do not believe that you were some body double impersonating the Kato Shields I know either. But the situation is no better, as I am utterly incapable of convincing the current captain of this ship to change his mind. About that, Ava, I'm not sure how much it means to you given the circumstances, but I'm sorry for how I treated you in the office right now. And before that too, when you tried to convince me to detain Chigara. Captain, it hardly makes sense to apologize for the actions of another individual you have no control over, regardless of the fact that he is your identical clone. No, the guy in there is still me, and I still feel ashamed to even look at him. He lost too much, and just wants to keep hearing that he'll come back to Sarah with a new family. I shouldn't have treated you so poorly. I hurt you. I still can't believe some of the things I said. I was emotional. I should never have accused you of being jealous or anything stupid like that. You'll always be a lot more than just my executive officer, Ava. I can't put into words how much I regret saying anything else. Captain, while I appreciate your honesty in admitting that you were wrong about the chief engineer, I believe there's a time and a place for anything further. And that moment is not now. We appear to be in the midst of a conspiracy to murder the top Alliance military brass. First, we must unravel this plot before deciding on anything else. Spoken exactly like Ava. Alright, but after all this is over, then I guess we will talk. Suddenly the klaxon sounded, interrupting Shield's moment. Red alert, the packed fleet has made its move. Shit, now of all times. Shield sprang to action. His past self was going to come running out the door any moment now. He had to hide. Well, be in touch. He ran down the hallway and vanished. As soon as he turned the corner, Claude joined him. So, how'd it go? She believes me, but my other self's not going to be letting off the tank cigar anytime soon. So she didn't try to toss you into the brig? No. We're too close to even doubt each other again. I'm still getting that fucking hollow. It's worked before. Shield's recollection was coming back. It was about this time when Pact Fleet advanced, choosing to launch a frontal attack using their riders to decimate the Alliance's shield cruisers, so their battleships could whittle down the Alliance fleet from a distance using laser attacks. Everything was happening exactly the same as before. We can't let the crew see you in here. Claude opened a maintenance tunnel and crawled inside. In your hurry. Despite knowing that another Kato Shields was no doubt rushing to the bridge right now, he couldn't help but feel like a pathetic coward crawling inside a maintenance tunnel to hide throughout the battle. No, my place is on the bridge. I have to protect everyone. Finally, his better senses reined in his emotions. No, he just had to leave that up to Ava and the rest of the crew. He wasn't going to protect anyone by marching to the bridge right now. Shield swallowed his pride and crawled into the maintenance shaft. Claude shut the gate, swallowing the two of them in darkness. Ellipses! All Shields could hear was the pounding of his heart. Sweat dripped down his eyebrows, tickling his nose, and filling his mouth with the taste of sulfur. In a surreal moment, he heard his own voice over the intercom. All hands, prepare for anti-radar combat! Shortly afterwards, a dull drumbeat of the Sunrider's flat guns echoed through the tunnel. The hull creaked as shrapnel from intercepted missiles harmlessly bounced off the ship's armor. Every passing moment felt like torture. Shields had grown so accustomed to being in command, the idea of being helpless, trapped inside a hole, turned his stomach. He closed his eyes and prayed that Ava would be safe. But what would the Kato Shields on the floor of the bridge right now do? Did he even care for her as he did? Suddenly, Ava's shrill voice in the intercom broke his thoughts. All hands, brace for impact! Shields did his best to grip the walls of the tunnel, but was still thrown completely to fly on his face against a massive shockwave. The tunnel bent and fuses burst, covering him with sparks. He knew the sensation. A hit that size could only mean that a packed battleship's quantum torpedo had gotten past their flat net and scored a direct hit. God damn it. What the hell was that buffoon on the bridge doing? He wiped the blood from his lips and pulled himself up. Smoke seeped in from the gate, meaning the hallway outside was now on fire. Shields cautiously opened the gate by a sliver and peeked outside, only to come face to face with a raging inferno. Crewmen pulled flame retardant hoses from the walls and struggled to put out the fire. Shields spotted a technician lying on the floor nearby, his uniform matted with blood. The fire approached him, threatening to swallow him whole. If I jump out now, I can still save him. I have to do something, but it would mean blowing my cover. Okay, right. This is a good spot to end the episode, anyway. And from this point on is where things are going to change. I'm probably going to go with the non-stealthy route first, because that's twice now. Twice? No? What? How? Which one of Akari's worked? I don't remember. It worked for Sola. So, this time, I'm going to try going for the... Yeah, I think with Sola, I tried the stealthy route first. It failed. Well, it didn't fail, but it didn't have a really happy ending. I'm going to try going for the non-stealthy route this time. Obviously grabbing the hollow because that worked with Ava before. It may reinforce her beliefs. She may try to doubt at some point. I don't know. But yeah. So when we come back, I'll have skipped to a point where something new is happening in the next episode. But yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you next time.